What some of these top rookies did last week in the world of professional rodeo.
And from injury to the winner's circle, Madison Outhier has had the comeback of the century. Now she's in the top 15 in the world. She's going to join us to talk about her big win at the Reno Rodeo.
Summer rodeo run is underway. Cowboy Christmas is underway. Greeley's going to come to a close tomorrow night. We'll have some updates on that one. But Prescott, the world's oldest rodeo, it got underway yesterday. We'll have updates from that as well and a whole lot more on Western Sports Roundup.
He can hear you.
He takes the lead. How about 83 points?
We need to check the arena records, everybody.
Welcome into the Cowboy Channel studios for Western Sports Roundup this Tuesday. Young guns before we get later on in the show with the rookies.
I love the fact that we're highlighting the National Junior High Finals, which just took place last week at the Lazy Arena in Guthrie, Oklahoma. When you look at it by the numbers, 43 states represented there, 3 countries, a total of 1,276 total entries. Yeah, it's a big event for these young 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders to get them a national title.
Yes, it is, and this is the way to get them on the pro rodeo trail someday. Now, let's talk about Jace Green right here in the bareback steer riding from New Mexico. Won round 1 and round 2, went into the short run in the number 1 position, but this young talent was also there in the bull riding and the team roping. I'm thinking we're seeing a Linderman award-winning youngin right here Sunday. He looks up to Stetson right, and that is certainly understandable.
If you know the name of Rob in the world of professional rodeo and the steer wrestling, well, you might recognize this one. This is Cruz Rob. Yeah, that's the brother of Cash Rob, who was the NFR average champion a couple of years ago. By the way, Cash won a national high school title a few years back as well. Cruz not only got this win at the National Junior High Finals 1 year ago at this same event, Cruz was the reserve champion, so he went ahead and got him the title this year.
Now let's talk about some team ropers, and both of them, when asked, said that their heroes were their dads. I think that's truly special. Truett and Gavin. This is Gavin's 2nd trip to the junior high finals, Truett's 4th trip here, and these two have put together some really great runs. We've watched a lot of young talent come up through the team roping ranks over the years, and these are just a few of those that we'll be talking about for a while.
Kai Franzen is getting pretty used to winning at the National Junior High Finals. Thank goodness, because he's headed out now. He's headed into his high school rodeo career. Not only was he the champion in the Saddle Bronc steer riding, yes, they ride steers at that level. It's a little safer for him in the bareback and the Saddle Bronc riding. He also won this event last season in 2025. 2 years prior to that, he won it in 2023. That's right, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders are competing here. That's the reason he got 3 world titles over a 4-year span. Congratulations to Kai Franzen from the state of Texas.
As we move it on to the breakaway roping, now you're seeing 2 right here because we have the girls breakaway roping and the boys. Juliana Scarmardo and J.Z. Hurst are who walked away with the wins and some really great runs. Scarmardo has been a 2-time Shane Hanchey Invitational Breakaway champion, and so she knows exactly how to get in the winner's circle. But Hurst blasted a 1.65 and a 1.9 in the long rounds and came back to win it all. What a great Texas Cowboy, and both of these have a lot of talent in their hands.
Oh, yes, they do. Texas Cowboy and Cowgirl there in the breakaway roping. As we go to the tie-down roping, we'll take you to the state of Florida. That is Rhett Fulford. Now, 33 and 36 on 3 head after it was all said and done. He didn't do anything crazy fast. He was 10 on 1 calf, then he was 11 on a couple of calves after that. But hey, it doesn't matter because that was perfect in the average for him to get the championship at the National Junior High Finals. That's what I love about these events. They're stepping stone events. Get them going in the junior high finals, then go to the high school finals, and before long we're seeing them at the collegiate and pro rodeo level. That's what it's all about.
You just blink and they are on the big trail. But it's all starting right here at the Lazy E Arena. Chloe Kent and Ace Lammers for the boys and the girls goat tying. That's a South Dakota Cowboy right there and a young Nevada talent. Now, Now, Chloe actually ended up losing her good horse not too long ago, right before this event, and had to borrow one from a friend of hers, she said. But she had a really good guardian angel for her coming into this event. Now, a 27 and 9-9 on 3 for the South Dakota Cowboy right there. And that's some quick hands and some quick tying in the goat tying.
Yes, it definitely is. In the barrel racing, we're going to show you Hadley Landers. You talk about dominate the National Junior High Finals from her state of Oklahoma, competing in her state of Oklahoma at the finals, 44.514 on 3 runs. She won all 3 rounds, folks. Let me repeat that. She won all 3 rounds at the National Junior High Finals. She won the average by darn near a full second. In fact, she won it by 0.8 of a second. That's quite a big spread amongst the rest of the barrel racers. What a week for her in Oklahoma at the Lazy Arena.
And speaking of going fast, look at the pole bending run right here. But do you guys recognize that fast 14-hand paint right there? You really should, because her mom is Brittany Sporer that ran this mare at the 2020 Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. Now here winning the pole bending average by nearly a second. It's her first trip there. She's from Wyoming. What a talent, and you can tell just how proud her mom was of her to make a run like this one. That mare is 19 years old and still winning.
In the bull riding from the state of Utah, it was Billy Lewis. Yes, they ride bulls at the junior high finals. Now the stock contractors do a tremendous job in picking some smaller, kind of good to ride, I'm not going to say easy to ride. Some of them, as you can tell, kind of jump out from underneath you, but that's what this event's all about. 219 points for Billy. 1 round 1, then came back in the final round. You talk about a fast spinner right there. He came back in that finals with an 80-point ride. That was the highest point bull ride of the entire week at the junior high finals. There's all of your champions. Of course, the ribbon roping, Colton and Canyon Charleston out of Missouri got that win. Oh, that was good stuff. The National Junior High Finals. Now we're just looking forward to the National High School Finals, which gets underway here in a couple weeks.
From one young gun to the next, how about we transition a little bit to people that have had a lot of success over the years. Madison Outhier, though, is on the pro rodeo trail and has not let up. She is broken into the top 15 allegedly thanks to her friends at the Breakaway Roping Journal. Now, here's the thing about Maddie Outhier. Not only when she was 16 years old did she win the American, she also had a lot of success there at the National Junior High Finals Rodeo back in the barrel racing. But oh well, look at what she's doing in the breakaway roping in 2026. But after a win like that in Reno, we get the chance to be joined by her right here on Western Sports Roundup. Thank you so much for being here, sweet girl.
Thank y'all for having me.
This has been a lot of fun for you to be on the road right now. You're on the road with Bo Peterson yet again, but Reno is one that's been a little tough on you in the past. How excited were you when you had the chance to be finally handed those coveted spurs?
Oh, just to have made the short go at a rodeo like that was so exciting. I've loved going to Reno every year, but never had luck, like you said. And so, I mean, just to be a breakaway roper competing there, being equal added money at a rodeo like that is awesome, let alone to win it and get those coveted spurs. I mean, it was a dream come true for sure.
All right, Madison. So in the finals, that final run, you were 2-8 in the finals on Saturday night. Now, Jordan Joe Hollabaugh joined me yesterday on Western Sports Roundup, and we actually talked about this, and I want to know straight from you, because of where you competed in that finals, there was about 3 or 4 girls to rope after you. How do you handle that kind of pressure? Because, I mean, you know what's already been done ahead of you. You know Jackie Crawford and Aaron Johnson and some of them are still left to rope, so you kind of got to stick it on one, but on the other hand, you need to go catch and have a chance at a title. How did you handle that riding into the box?
Honestly, yeah, I was just worried about scoring first. I felt like I scored really good there all week, and that's been, you know, my main focus for these summer run rodeos is to see my start first and then just go make the best run I can on the calf I have, and I feel like that's exactly what I did. I honestly felt like I was a little off the barrier compared to what I wanted to be, and so I went a little bit further than I wanted to be, but I knew like just going and knocking the calf down and seeing where it fell, and honestly when I saw 2.8 I was like, oh no way, I'm gonna, you know, I was just excited that I knocked him down and was gonna get my average check. I really didn't think it'd hold to stay winning the whole thing, but it ended up doing it, and so I was just so excited.
Madison, I want you to elaborate a little bit more on the start and the barrier there at Reno, because I did a few of the broadcasts here in studio and, of course, watched most of the performances, but it looked like to me some of those calves weren't starting, and then once they started, they'd go and take off and run in that big arena and try to get away from y'all. That start was pretty crucial and important and a little tough to get by, wasn't it?
For sure. It's a 2-under start, 2-under barrier, and so that's where they mostly set it at for these outdoor rodeos during the summer. But honestly, in that arena, it's a little bit longer field than a normal 2-under start. I mean, 2-under start, you can be 1-9, 1-8 at a lot of these rodeos still to win the rodeo. But Reno, I mean, you know, it won the round with 2 3s, 2-2, and so it's a little bit longer field. I felt like, yes, you're right. Like, we had to make sure and see the calf, you know, at least moving through the gate, if not a full step. And that's a little bit more than we give at some places. You just had to really see it and then use your horsepower, because those calves were out there and it is a big arena. And so when they get that extra jump on you, if you're a little off the barrier, you're kind of screwed because they're running.
I like that you already brought up the horsepower, because that was my next question. When you watch what those calves were doing, you also have to have a horse that's paying attention as well and listening to you. How important was that horsepower? You stuck with the same one all 3 rounds, and she's pretty special.
She is. That mare's name is Eva. We raised her through our LA Waters quarter horse breeding program, and she actually did reigning cow horse under a boy named Crease Milligan until she was 6 years old. I bought her back as a 6-year-old, and she's 9 now, and she's just taken to the breakaway so easily. She loves it. It's actually the horse I had my accident on a couple of years ago in Salt Lake City, and she's just, I mean, she was never been to a rodeo before that year that I took her on the summer run, and so the last 2 years she's really just gained confidence and allowed me to gain confidence in her. I feel like I've been scoring really great on her. She's given me every chance in the world to win, and it's feeling really good, and I'm excited to keep rolling on her the rest of the summer.
Madison, your mom and your dad and y'all's horse program down there, you speak of that horse that you rode. Everybody loves to have a great horse, right? I don't care if you're roping calves, if you're team roping or barrel racing or whatever, but you've got a great one that y'all raised that started out at your program. That's got to mean just that much more special to you to be able to now have that horse back in your rig, back in your trailer that you've had over the last handful of years, and winning big rodeos like Reno on her.
For sure. Before her, I was on the same horse for the last 12 years that I won the American on. His name's Rooster, and we raised and trained him. My dad breaks all the colts, and it's definitely a family ordeal. My grandparents, they started that breeding program down there in Utopia, Texas, and it's just amazing to have the horsepower like that underneath me, let alone for it to be so family oriented. And, you know, that's all we do. My parents train horses for a living. They both competed professionally in their different things for a living too, but now they just train horses for a living. And so we love it. We love having these amazing animal athletes underneath us out here, and we just do whatever we can to keep them feeling their best, and they take care of us so much.
I wish we had even more time to deep dive a little bit more into just how elite your parents and your grandparents have been over the years. But let's talk a little bit more about this year. Before we wrap this up, the 2026 season has been so good to you already. Because of our friends at the Breakaway Journal, we're able to see that you should be climbing into the top 15. You have not had a chance to make a run at the National Finals of Breakaway Roping before and seen that coveted arena, but this year might be your chance. Knowing that you've got the horsepower, knowing that you've got some of these wins under your belt, how are you planning out the rest of this year to make sure that we see you in December?
Yeah, you know, my mindset's not going to change. I'm just taking it one calf at a time. I'm super lucky and blessed to go down the road and just see this amazing country from a truck. It's so much fun to get to travel to all these rodeos. I mean, I used to come and watch my dad at these growing up. And so to be a breakaway roper, just getting to follow our dreams and make a living with a rope, being included in these rodeos, it's just honestly a dream come true in itself. And it's awesome whenever we're winning. It's a little harder when we're losing, but, you know, win or lose, I'm just hoping to keep taking one calf at a time, and hopefully that leads into me making the finals this year.
I hope this is the year. You've been darn close on a couple of different occasions to making it to the national finals of Breakaway Roping. And like Elise just said, I hope it's this December that we're going to see you there. Madison, congratulations on a big win. The wildest, richest rodeo in the West in Reno, Nevada. And good luck to you the rest of the summer.
Thanks so much.
That is champion breakaway roper from the Reno Rodeo, Madison Outhier, just joining us. And, of course, she speaks of her mom and dad. Oh, yeah, they're pretty good at horseback, what they're talking about. Her mom, a great polo player, like Madison is, and also her dad, a national finalist in the saddle bronc riding, and Mike Outhier. Stay with us. We have got so much more to get to today on Western Sports Roundup, which includes Resistol Rookie Tuesday. We do it each and every week here on the show. We'll update you on what's going on in that Resistol Rookie race.
And later on, right here on Western Sports Roundup, we've got some updates from some rodeos over the weekend. The world's oldest. You'll recognize some of these names like Jaco Roper, Sage Newman, Jordan Joe, just to name a few. All that and more on Western Sports Roundup.
Western Sports Roundup is brought to you by Resistol, the official hat of the PRCA, and Cowboys everywhere.
Western Sports Roundup is brought to you by Rock and Roll Denim. Live boldly.
Tuesday, and that means it's Resistol Rookie Tuesday. And every year I think that it couldn't get any better, but y'all, we keep getting surprised by some of these rookies, especially in the tie-down roping.
I agree with you, Elise. That's a great statement. Every year we think, man, this rookie team is unbelievable. Well, here we are in 2026, and they're unbelievable again. Former national high school champion in Kyan Wilhite. Look at there, won $8,500 already this past week. He tied the arena record on that run at Reno at the Reno Rodeo just last week. That arena record, of course, was set by Scott Cormos back in 2013. That's 7-2. My goodness, this kid's good. I've been watching him. He's been good for a few years now. Y'all better keep watching him as well because this kid's something else. He's just ahead of Brody Clemens in that Resistol rookie race, but the thing is, he's kind of starting to pull away from Brody and the rest of the field as you look at the top 5 right here. But we're going to talk about Brody a little later on in the show, so keep that in mind, though. Kyan Wilhite still #1 in that rookie race.
Now, the bull riding, we've got to talk about 2 of these athletes. You're going to recognize this one right here, John Crimber, especially his round 1 win at the Reno Rodeo. He's a PBR world champion. He is really wanting to get to the Las Vegas lights as well. But Hayden Welsh ended up being 90 points in the short round. John ended up bucking off. John is #3 in those rookie standings and #6 in the world standings. Hayden in that #2 in the rookie standings and #4 in the world. If you take a look at the world standings right now and put them next to the Resistol rookie standings like you're seeing right here, Noah Lee is still in that #1 position, speaking of PBR talents. But this is going to be one of those that's going to be exciting to watch how they start to pull away from each other through the rest of the summer run, because this is going to be hard on them. But Hayden Welsh proved a year ago that he had what it takes to get to the end of the season too.
In the bareback riding, few guys to visit about because this race is something else. Now, Carson Hildre is one of them. Remember, he just split the win, I should say, at the College National Finals Rodeo just a couple of weeks ago. And then we watched him go on from there. Springdale, Arkansas was second there in the mud on Championship Rodeo's Bangor, Maine, there at Rodeo the Ozarks. And then, of course, Roedy Farrell, what he did at the West of the Pecos Rodeo just last week, he was 87 points to win second on that one. Of course, Roedy makes his home up in Wyoming, but and you've also got Toby Dundee, who won the short round at Reno last weekend, 88 points on Sankey and Pro Rodeo phenom Genetics Lewandowski. Shouting Shoes, the Australian bareback rider. That's what the Resistol rookie race looks like. Carson's #1, Roedy's #2. Daxton Field, who also split with Carson Hildre at the college finals, is #3. There's Toby, as I mentioned, Tucker Caricato, and Roedy Farrell. They're rodeoing together. That's a pretty good field of rookies in that bareback race.
Let's talk to one of those talented rookies right now. Roedy Farrell is joining us from the road, and what he has been dominating is everywhere he's been going, but we've already told you about that. Now we get the chance to chat with him. Thanks for being here.
Thank you guys for having me.
it's been nonstop. We've talked to you on the show quite a bit in the last year or so, especially after everything you did on your permit. So you're no stranger to success, but what do you think is a little bit different this year, as you're in your rookie year, but you're doing very well? Is there any different feelings you're having now that you've kind of got the road a little bit more under control this year?
I mean, yeah, just a little bit. Going down the last couple weeks, I've kind of settled down a little bit more and been having a little more fun, having some good draws and stuff. But dang sure just having a little bit more fun and having a good time doing it.
All right, so we just talked about it moments ago before we started visiting with you, and splitting second at the rodeo at Pecos just last week in the west of the Pecos Rodeo. That's a great Pete Carr bucking horse. Kind of tell us about that ride, a little bit of what you remember about it. I know it's hot in Pecos. Does that help you spur one, or does it make it tougher?
Oh, I guess it helped me that day. It was pretty dang hot when we got down there, especially coming from Wyoming. But once I seen I had that horse and drawn down there, I was pretty excited and knew that I had a fairly good chance to be some points and win a pretty good check. So I was dang excited to go down there and get on him.
Roedy, that's a National Finals Rodeo bucking horse. And now I'm not a bareback rider, so obviously I've never been on that horse. But kind of talk me through that, because they talk about that horse being a little hard to ride and pretty heavy and jerk on your arm pretty good.
Oh, yeah, he was dang sure all there. I mean, especially coming out of there. Waylon was 88.5 on him or whatever to win win around at the finals last year. So I dang sure knew I had to have my hammer cocked when I nodded. But once he started going and my feet started coming to me, I knew that it was going to be good.
Now, you mentioned having just a little bit more fun these days here on the road. So what do you think that's been about being a bareback rider that has made it easier? Do you think it's that you're kind of turning your brain off, or are you able to block things out and turn your brain on even more?
Probably turning my brain off more, honestly. I mean, coming into my rookie year, I was probably thinking about it just a little bit too much. And now that I'm more settled down and been drawing pretty good and hanging out with the boys more, and the summer rodeos are starting, and seeing all my buddies and just going down, the weather's nice, and being able to do this, it's pretty awesome. So I'm having a pretty good time.
Speaking of drawing good, I want you to take us back a couple of weeks ago. Sisters, Oregon, Corco Rodeo's Dixie Gravy, another National Finals Rodeo bucking horse. By the way, I agree with you. You seem to be drawing good, but the thing about you, Roedy, you're using these draws to your advantage, and you're winning big money when you do it. Tell me about that ride for you to get the win up there in Sisters.
Oh, just another one. When I knew I looked and seen the callbacks for that one, I knew that it was going to be a bunch of fun and had really good opportunity to be some points to win a pretty good check. And just I've seen that horse buck a couple times, and just knowing that I got to be able to get on him and have my name by his name was pretty special, pretty cool.
So a lot of big-time horses and a very, very a huge amount of money that's on the line here in the next few weeks, that's for sure, especially with Cowboy Christmas. But being number 22 in the world currently, we're obviously talking about what you're getting done for your rookie year, but you're also potentially looking at the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. What does the next couple of weeks have planned for you, and how are you planning to attack them and make sure that you are giving yourself the best chance possible to be in Vegas?
Oh, just keep my head down and keep trucking. Take every horse one step, or take every horse as like I'm getting on Virgil or getting on one of them really cool ones. Just go on and take them all one head at a time, and just keep going down the road and keep having the success that I've been having, and should work out pretty good.
Roedy, I've got one more question for you before we let you go, and it's actually going back a little bit what I mentioned moments ago about those good bucking horses you've been drawing. Do you feel like even in your young rookie season this year in professional rodeo, when you have one of those really good horses by your name, does that put more pressure on you, knowing that, man, if I just make a ride, I know I'm going to be in the winner's circle? Or is it the other way, where you've got one of those horses that's maybe kind of that middle of the road horse that you feel like you need to do a little extra on to try to get to the top of the leaderboard? How are you handling that at rodeos all across the country?
Well, I just take, like I said, just take one horse as just getting on the same exact horse every time. Just go do my thing and keep to the basics and do that, and it should work out pretty good with no matter what you're getting on. So that's what I've been just keep trying to do, keep my head down, keep grinding, and keep doing that, and should work out pretty good.
I would agree with that. You keep drawing horses like you've drawn the last couple of weeks, and you keep making those kind of rides on them, yeah, it's going to work out pretty good for you. Roedy, good luck on this rest of the rookie season for you and your career for this 2026 year, and thanks for joining us here on the show.
Yep, I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
That is one of our young rookie bareback riders for this year in 2026. Roedy Farrell, number 2 in that rookie race, right behind Carson Hildre, who's had that lead for most of the season. But as Carson knows, those guys like Roedy and Daxton, Toby, they're all trying to come for him. And one of Roedy's traveling partners, Tucker Caricato, all part of that Resistol rookie field.
Next on Western Sports Roundup, we're going to bring some results from some great rodeos we've seen going down the road. You're going to recognize some of these names, and they're putting a lot of money in the bank right on the summer run. This is Western Sports Roundup. You have the chance to see all rodeo all the time with your Cowboy Plus subscription tonight. The Greeley Stampede Extreme Bowls gets ready to get everything kicked off there, but Extreme Bowls action brings you the action tonight. We've got the Ponoka Stampede from Ponoka, Alberta that ends July 1st, and we also will have through July 5th, world's oldest rodeo, that's Prescott, Arizona. Some big-time exciting things happening. They're all a part of our summer rodeo run. We've already had 34 rodeos, 131 performances, and it's only Tuesday. You can catch every moment with Cowboy Plus subscription. That's your way to see all of the exciting action happening during the summer rodeo run.
As we welcome you back inside of our studios here to Western Sports Roundup. It's crazy. The summer rodeo run is upon us, and we've already brought you 30-something rodeos already,
wow.
As Elise just shared with you. One of those included on your Cowboy Plus app is the world's oldest rodeo in Prescott, Arizona. It actually got underway yesterday. It will continue all the way through this Sunday, the day after the 4th of July, as we celebrate America for 250 years this coming Saturday. Prescott will go all the way through the next day. As far as your leaders, after the first day of competition, not only the first performance, but some slack competition as well. Jaco Roper, 2 trips to the NFR for him. Number 19 in the world. He's got the lead right now, 83 points on a NFR bucking horse from Sammy Andrews called Cash and Carry. He was just 3rd at Reno. I'm sure he would love to finish it up doing well at Prescott and hopefully at Greeley, where he's making the short round as well there.
Now moving on to the big man's event in the steer wrestling. It's getting pretty fast there in Prescott, Arizona, as it should. 10.3 on 2 is what Hayden Webb currently has. Like Ty said, we already brought you some slack action as well to already get this going in the aggregate. He wins round 1, and that is what you were seeing. And then he was 2nd there in round 2. Not quite as good as his 4-3 in the first round. He ended up being a 7 flat in the second, but we'll see how that holds.
Team Ropers, some of the young rookies to talk about since it's Resistol Rookie Tuesday. This worked out pretty good that these guys are leading in Prescott. Now I'm just going to tell you, Conley Kleinhans and Kyler Kennedy are probably not going to stay in the lead because that 23-7, they were pretty long on one of their steers, but they're in the lead for now. But Conley on the heading side, he's the number 4 rookie in that heading Resistol Rookie of the Year race. Kyler Canada on the backside, on the heeling side, that is the number 1 rookie right now. And oh yeah, it's old school. See how they both come out of the same box there in the team roping at Prescott. That's why I love old school rodeos. That's just my opinion.
That's what I was just thinking about, just how great the old school action is there. Now, the saddle bronc riding, speaking of old school, you want to see someone that's textbook correct. You know you are always going to see a great ride when Sage Newman nods his head. Molly V from JK Rodeos, 83 points. We'll see how this hangs on. He's been putting a ton of money in the bank. He's number 5 in the world right now, but if you look down the list of results over the last couple weeks, man, Sage just keeps picking up checks. Like I said, every time he nods his head, it just keeps getting better.
This young lady in the breakaway open, Jordan Jo Hollabaugh, was talking with me just yesterday on Western Sports Roundup, a couple hours before she competed in the breakaway at Prescott. She had one in the slack and then came back in the performance last night. She's got the lead. Jordan Jo, she's kind of been on a tear here recently. She's got her a couple big wins under her belt just recently. One of them includes the Ridgeview Pro Rodeo from Driggs, Idaho a few weeks ago where she got the win. But the thing is, 8 seconds flat for her on 2 calves. I know you might think that's long in the breakaway room, but I want you to remember, Prescott's a big arena. It's a long score. So you go beat 3, 5, 4 flat on each calf. That's a couple pretty good breakaway runs for Jordan Jo.
And those are some big calves, and they are running. But speaking of some great action, let's talk about Brody Clemens. Ty, you mentioned earlier where he's at in the number 2 position in the Resistol Rookie race behind Cayenne. He's doing really well in Ponoka right there. But I want to draw your attention to the fact that he might be number 2 in the Resistol Rookie race, but putting together runs like he has here in an average, that's what's going to pay off later on in the rodeo run, and especially this season. 19.2 on 2 so far, and it's just getting better for him.
Here comes Brianna Holubczyk, who is leading the barrel racing. In fact, she won this rodeo just a couple of years ago. Now, again, like I said in the team roping, she's not going to stay in that number 1 spot because she was long on one of her runs, but another one of her runs was really, really good. That one that you see right there. She's doing good in round number 1 there in Prescott, so hopefully she'll get a good check out of that first round. That's the run you just saw. She was just second at Lehigh, Utah last week, so she gathered up some good money a week ago. Let me tell you something, Brianna Holubczyk always has some pretty good horses, makes her home in Oklahoma now, and she is a darn good barrel racer. Hopefully, as I mentioned, we'll get her a little bit of go-round money there in Prescott.
Speaking of darn good, let's talk about a darn good bull rider. Hudson Bolton, last year's PBR Rookie of the Year, and he really put on a really good race in the PRCA as well. Stainless Steel. We've got such a great group of bull riders going down the road right now. This 88 points right here was the only qualified ride. We'll see where he can get that in the money. He needs some money right now in that number 21 position in the world standings. But again, so many great athletes, and you just have to keep chipping away, and we'll see him back in Vegas. But that 88 right there, pretty good there in Prescott.
That was just the first performance and the first day of competition in Prescott. It's going to continue all the way through July 5th, and you got it, folks. It's streaming right now on Cowboy Plus. Folks, you need the Cowboy Plus app. If you don't have it, you better get it. All part of this big summer rodeo run that we're proud to feature for you here on Cowboy Channel. Folks, we invite you to stay with us. It is going to be an honor to talk to this young lady, the 11-time world champion barrel racer. She's getting a big honor later on in July. Charmayne James will join us in just a bit.
And it's the year of the cowgirl at the Ponoka Stampede. We've had some really great athletes that have already shown up, and it's getting ready to end just tomorrow. But Ponoka's a big one, and we'll tell you those new leaders.
And here is Zeke Thurston. Come on, Ponoka, let's make a little noise. Here's your world champion. Now we are cooking. How about it, Ponoka?
Cowboy Channel fans, rodeo fans, I invite you to join myself and Katie Lucas later on this week, a fun show that we call Shoot Around. It starts Thursday. We'll do it Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night with this big Cowboy Christmas run underway this week. We kind of have some fun, bounce around to some different rodeos. We'll have some rodeo contestants join us. We'll do lots of fun things, and it is going to be a blast. I really hope you can join us. There's a list of the rodeos that we'll be taking you to. We might go to Red Lodge and show you a couple bareback rides, or we might show up in Belle Fourche and show you the tie-down rope, and every one of them on Cowboy Plus app. Please join us Thursday, Friday, Saturday for Shoot Around.
It's the year of the cowgirl at the Ponoka Stampede. Our own Katie Lucas was even the parade marshal. They have had world champions there, rookies, and a whole lot of fun right there in Ponoka, Alberta. But let's get an update from last night's rodeo action.
Sunshine returned to Ponoka, Alberta for day number 5 of the 90th annual Stampede, a key stop during the rich Cowboy Christmas run. And the clock is ticking for contestants who are trying to make the big finals here at Ponoka. You can count on Oren Larson being there in the bareback riding. The Manitoba-raised Cowboy was excited to match up with a newer Calgary Stampede horse with firepower called Happening Fact for 88 points and top spot. Bo Cooper bet on 7 in tie-down roping. His great horse that loves Ponoka as much as the Stettler Cowboy. They finished up in 8.8 seconds to secure 4th overall so far in that event. The speedy looper in breakaway roping this day was brand new mom Shelby Beaujolais-Medjed with a 2.8, a real confidence building for her. Ponoka's Allison Haveron takes over 2nd overall now, though, with her total of 6 and 4. for. Ontario steer wrestler Tim Kemp takes time off his day job to rodeo in the West, and he made his trip to Ponoka worth it. With this 4.6-second run, he slides into second overall with a total of 9-3. Montana man Tanner Butner drew into the Calgary pen of Saddle Broncs, spurring to 87 1/4 on Frontier Acres for third place. Bottom spot in the bronc riding now, 84.75. The Texas duo of Nikki Northcott and Tyler Tryon came to play team roping in Ponoka, snagging this steer in 4.9 seconds for fast time of the day and a qualifying spot for July 1st as of now. Ground a little sticky yet in the barrel racing. Brady House of Matisco came in with a 17.99. However, that's just 2/100ths shy of a finals cutoff time. And many tried, but only one prevailed in the bull riding this day. Saskatchewan's Weston Davidson was determined to get revenge in a rematch with the Calgary Bull Highway to Heaven. He did so for 81 1/4 points to become bull rider number 8 in the quest for 12 finalists. Only one more set of contestants will have an opportunity to make the July 1st finals here in Ponoka. For Feature Productions, I'm Diane Finstead at the Ponoka Stampede.
It is good to see the sun shining up there in Ponoka, because if you've been watching on Cowboy Plus, the first few days of the Ponoka Stampede was not sunshiny and was definitely not dry inside that arena. In fact, it has been a muddy mess up there the first few days.
That it has. We've even seen our good friend Alicia Erickson took a little tumble, a little tackle, if you will. She's also a former Miss Ponoka Stampede and Miss Rodeo Canada. We see her right here on the Cowboy Channel pretty regularly, and she said you better sleep with one eye open. The size of this arena is insane. All this water, all of the excitement, but it's been a lot of fun for all of them up there.
Yeah, it definitely has. Well, that performance going on today, actually this afternoon, up there in Ponoka, which will be the final performance, as you just heard Diane say, to qualify into that championship day, which is tomorrow. That live on Cowboy Plus, the finals at 2:30 Eastern time. They'll be crowning champions up there. I'm telling you, you won't want to miss that one. Check it out on our Cowboy Plus app.
Next on Western Sports Roundup, we're going to talk to that cowgirl right there. What hasn't Charmayne James won or earned, but now she is being honored with a legendary award in the PBR. Stay with us. You're watching Western Sports Roundup.
Here's a left turn. Little slip on the second boy. This little young lady, 15 years old, she won the championship.
There's a broken piece of equipment.
The horse's
bridle is gone. No, the bridle is gone. She's riding it in without anything on it. I don't believe it.
I feel like I remember that run like it was yesterday at the 1985 edition of the National Finals Rodeo, when Scamper's bridle came off with Charmayne James aboard. What a feat that was for that horse and Charmayne to get around all three barrels and get out of the arena safely, or maybe not so safely at the top of the alley. We may mention that here in just a minute when we bring Charmayne James in. She is about to get a huge honor, by the way, at the PBR Heroes and Legends induction ceremony when it takes place in Oklahoma City later on this summer in July 30th to be exact, for this 2026 year. Charmayne's going to earn the Ty Murray Top Hand Award. Her and world champion tie-down roper Dean Oliver all a part of that big award. Charmayne joins us right now on the show. An 11-time world champion in the WPRA. Of course, 10 of those came aboard the one and only Scamper. Charmayne, it's such an honor to get to visit with you, and thank you for joining us here on Western Sports Roundup.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to be with you guys and so honored to be selected to be one of the Top Hand Award recipients. It's great.
That is so cool. And we're going to get into that more in just a moment. But Charmayne, I've got to ask you, I know you've talked about this since that year in 1985, but that year the bridle fell off on Scamper. That year he got around the barrels, obviously. We saw it in the video, but the reason I kind of shared that story, because I've heard you talk about it before, about trying to get him stopped going out the alleyway. There's a little more to that story, isn't there?
There's a lot to that story. It was wild. If you'll see the guys at the gate, they're watching me go out and they know what's out there. There's nothing but a free pass to the Las Vegas Strip. And they started closing the gate in the back and I barely squeaked through. And my uncle helped me at the top, kind of get him stopped. And he kind of let my uncle help. And And I really don't know. I think I had a guardian angel there helping us that night because it could have been disastrous.
Wow. I mean, just to hear that story again, I know we've all heard it for so many years, but when I was watching that back as well, my question is, you've seen it happen, you also lived it yourself, but does it ever kind of take you back, or when you watch it again, does it kind of bring some of those emotions back that you had that night?
The first thing that I think of when I see it is, I can't believe I won the go-round. They kept telling me, Charmayne, you got to go get on the victory lap horse. I'm like, no, it was a wreck. And they're like, no, you need to go get on the victory lap horse. And it was just like, it was so hard to believe that I won the go-round because you just didn't have a sense of how good the run was. It was just, you know, you're concerned for Scamper and myself. Like, that was the biggest concern, that we weren't out there, you know, running full speed on the blacktop. And so, it just took a minute to kind of get my wits about me and be like, oh my gosh, this was the most absolutely craziest thing.
Charmayne, I mentioned at the beginning, 11 times you won the World Championship. 10 of those were on that great horse Scamper that we watched you ride for so many years. 2017, you were inducted into Pro Rodeo's Hall of Fame, the first lady to surpass $1 million in career earnings. And now this, with the PBR and the Ty Murray Top Hand Award, I got to know, where does that stack up? You've had a lot of accolades in your life and in your career, but I love that the fact that the PBR arena goes outside of the bull riding arena to honor folks like yourself. This one's got to be pretty huge for you.
This was a big deal, and Ty called me himself, and wow, it was just a really great call. And Ty said, look, we just want to keep high-level people that did a lot for rodeo and the sport, and just such an honor that the bull riders would recognize me in their area, and just, gosh, it's just incredible.
You know, with the PBR, you guys have done a lot together as well over the years, even coaching during Kid Rock's Rockin' Rodeo. You've been a part of the business, but the rodeo industry itself and our rodeo family, Ty and you were rodeoing together at the height of the both of your careers, and now getting to have an award that's named after him and getting to have that phone call by him himself, that had to feel extra special to have gone all of these years alongside someone you consider a friend, and now to have him give you an award as well.
Well, I always knew what a great, just amazing athlete and performer Ty was, and just had the utmost respect for him, and still do. And I think that we both respected what we did. And you know, when Ty called and was like, you know, I think the world of what you've done. And so, yes, it's just a really special thing. And you've noticed I've got his picture. We have one of his pictures up in our office here at home. And so there's Ty. You know, he's almost like family to Tony and I.
Right there over your shoulder, always watching over us, right, Charmayne? That's exactly
always watching over.
For
Better
sure.
Yet, we need to be watching over him, though.
Yeah, that's true. He needs a little more watching over than you do. I would agree with that. Charmayne, what all's going on in your world these days? Obviously, we haven't seen you in the rodeo arena quite some time. I know you put on your barrel racing clinics to help young folks and newcomers to the sport of barrel racing, but what all's going on in your world these days?
Well, I still go out and teach, and I just love it and seem to get to where I love it even more every year. The longer you teach, the better you get at it. And so that's been a huge part of my life, and feeling like you have a purpose and you're doing something good for the horses and the people. I really enjoyed doing that. And then this year, I also launched a product to help horses, barrel racing horses, and all horses kind of deal with anxiety and stomach issues while they're performing, just because I knew over the years there was such a need for it. So I launched a company called Victory Equine Products, and so we're working on getting that out there, and that's kind of where we're at. And then following my boys around, playing baseball, and then I take care of my mom and dad. And so it's just, you know, there's just never enough time in the day for all of it.
Isn't that the truth? Yeah, full-time contact for you there, Charmayne. That sounds exactly right. By the way, folks, I want to tell you, CharmayneJames.com is where you find out all the information about her clinics. Let me tell you, you need to go be a part of that if you want to get involved in the barrel racing world. Charmayne, thanks again for joining us up here on Western Sports Roundup, and such a huge honor for you later on in July getting honored there. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
That is Charmayne James getting honored. Her and Dean Oliver is the Ty Murray Top Hand Award. It'll take place at Oklahoma City at the PBR Heroes and Legends induction ceremony on July 30th. That's all, of course, the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum.
Next on Western Sports Roundup, we'll take you back to the Rodeo Arena. Greeley, Colorado is where we are headed. We've got an update, and we changed the leaderboard last night. All that and more coming up on Western Sports Roundup. Last night, watching the Greeley Stampede in Greeley, Colorado, we watched the leaderboard change just a few times. We're going to go over some of those leaderboard jumps, like what we saw happen in the steer wrestling, the big man's event. Nick Guy, y'all know that name. He's been to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo 8 times and was just knocking on the door of the arena record. This 3.8-second run was one of the fastest that we have seen, and it bumped out the tie that we had originally had with Riley Duvall and Garrett Oates. 4 second, that bumps them down to a tie in second. Now Nick Guy's 3.8. Woo, that's a current leader right there.
He's originally from Wisconsin, but he makes his home right down the road there in Greeley, Colorado, just up the street. So almost a hometown rodeo for him. James Arvizo and Levi Lord, no, that's not a run of them winning Reno last week. Yes, they won Reno, but they're also leading at Greeley going into the short round in the finals tomorrow, depending on what happens tonight in the performance. 10-4 on 2 steers rope for these guys. How much money will they win over a 2-week period if they win Reno last week and maybe have a chance at winning Greeley this week?
They hung on to the Reno lead and never let it go, and they're doing the same thing at Greeley. Danielle Lohman had the lead for the 1-9 in the breakaway roping, but now you're seeing what happened last night. Haley Williams, your #1 cowgirl in the world, she had to make sure she was out right there because she knew it was fast, and you're going to see a big wave from that sweet cowgirl right there. She was plenty excited, but Danielle Lohman, Haley Williams tied at the top of the leaderboard in the breakaway roping. 1.9 is lightning fast there at the Greeley Stampede. That's a part of your summer rodeo run. We've got a lot of rodeos left to get to.
We do, and we've already showed you 34 rodeos if you talk about broadcast television and what's on our Cowboy Plus app. 131 performances to be exact. Catch every moment of it, folks. Scan the QR code. We tell you about it, our Cowboy Plus app.
It's time for our top 3 stories of the day, presented by Veterson Clean Treat Heal. Speaking of great breakaway roping, Madison Outhier joined us as she climbs into the top 15 in the world. The Reno Rodeo put a huge check in her account this week and helped her climb in those standings.
One of the greatest barrel racers of all time joined us on the show today to talk about the huge honor that she's going to get. The PBR, they call it the Ring of Honor, but she's actually getting the Ty Murray Top Hand Award along with Dean Oliver. That's all going to happen July 30th up in Oklahoma City. And we told you about the National Junior High Finals. The champions were crowned from last week. That's going to wrap it up for this week on Western Sports Roundup. For Elise Sutherland, I'm Ty McClary. Be sure you watch Greeley coming your way later on tonight.